resist it. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the resources to understand that something's been put over on you. You cannot but help believe the definition of it as a free agent. But you believe yourself to be a free agent as a result of not being free. That is to say, of being hopelessly unable to resist
lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves. I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their nature. Right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around and
Trump has chosen Big Pharma's Susie Wiles for chief of staff, and she appears to be Trump's handler.
In charge of Trump's campaign and his PAC, arguably his closest advisor, when I asked my friends who are close to Trump, they say you don't get a meeting without Trump unless she's in the room. You don't get a phone call unless she's in the room. She's omnipresent.
Elon Musk has been exposed by several reporters to be a fraud and a government frontman. Nobody has ever debunked this. And now we are told that he will be fixing the government.
I mean, my top recommendation, honestly, would be just to have a carbon tax.
That seems so reasonable.
Yeah, I agree. There's just one thing that will matter. Put a price on carbon.
That would be the best option.
For sure.
That seems like it'd be such a good idea.
So far, the cabinet picks are painting a clear picture of where this is all heading. For UN Ambassador Elise Stefanik, who has received $917,000 from the Israel lobby.
Today, this means crushing anti-Semitism at home and supplying the state of Israel with what it needs, when it needs it, without conditions to achieve total victory in the face of evil.
For Secretary of State, Senator Marco Rubio, who has received $1 million from the Israel lobby.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not.
Gaza?
On the contrary.
Senator Rubio,
are you filming it?
Wait,
I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas has stopped building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
For the EPA, Lee Zeldin, who has received $916,000 from the Israel lobby.
You should not be coddling the largest state sponsor of terrorism, who calls the United States the great Satan. They call Israel the little Satan. They chant death to America. They develop intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, intercontinental. That's not meant for Israel. That's meant for us.
For National Security Advisor, Representative Mike Waltz, who has received $235,000 from the Israel lobby.
I think at this point, the only thing that is going to stop the Supreme Leader from his nuclear obsession is a very credible use and threat of military force.
For the Secretary of Homeland Security, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, who serves to ensure the security of God's chosen people, and who signed a bill to conflate criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism. For the U.S. ambassador to Israel, former Governor Mike Huckabee, who says Palestinians don't exist.
What happens next? It's about the end times. And quite frankly, some of us think we may just be living in them. So, Max Lucado, so good to see you. Thanks for joining us, and welcome as we talk about the end of the world.
Well, Governor, I wouldn't be anywhere else. I'm supremely honored to have these moments with you. And yes, I do believe we're not just in the end times. We're in the end of the end times. It's moving fast.
For the CIA, John Ratcliffe.
What Israel has done is essentially employ the Trump doctrine, a maximum pressure campaign, understanding that the only way to deter terrorists like Iran and their proxies is to put your foot on their throat. And Israel has done that. We should be assisting Israel in doing so.
For Secretary of Defense, Fox News personality Pete Hegseth.
Anyone that wants to take the stage and talk about dual loyalty is dead wrong. What this organization represents, what Western civilization represents today, is an understanding that Zionism and Americanism are the front lines of Western civilization and freedom in our world today.
For the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, who has received $460,000 from the Israel lobby.
Not responding is not an option either. I mean, you have the animating force behind the evil in that region is Iran.
And for U.S. President Donald Trump, who received $100 million from Zionist Miriam Adelson.
Iran is not there for us. They want to kill us. And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old.
The Palestinians want to come and get you. I mean, it's just absurd, the things that Giuliani said at that rally at Madison Square Garden. But it manifests an ideology which Donald Trump embraces, that the Palestinians should be destroyed and the United States should pay for their destruction.
Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese. Thank you for watching the latest Greg Reese Report. Be sure to go to reesereport.com to see my latest videos, sign up for my free newsletter, and subscribe for exclusive content. And be sure to support my sponsor at InfoWarsStore.com.
If you are listening to this transmission, you are the resistance, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this will be indeed a very important broadcast. My apologies for putting it off so long, okay? But I'm a very busy career woman, despite popular belief. Tonight's dissertation or broadcast is titled, How to Create a Boogeyman, Exposing the Deep State's Forever War Playbook. Before we begin with our keynote business tonight, allow me to air out some dirty laundry, see, because a lot of motherfuckers believe that I will become their content. I'm gonna be their lifeline to make them look good. I'm gonna be their boogeyman. Well, let me tell you something, Deacon. All those white people were right about you, sir. You fake religious, fake zealot. See, the only time Mr. Deacon Anthony Roan gives a damn about you is when you lay down and do his dirty work, socially, politically, economically, and otherwise. And when he's in trouble, he calls upon you to bail him out. Disloyal bastard. See, a real holy man who has blind faith in the Lord will never ever ask a woman to use her child as a freaking prop. He asked me to bring my daughter into this feud behind the scenes, this childish BS. Oh, just hit her on your lap and let the world know. No, I want to say F you, okay, without censoring it, but I don't want to be dirty just like you freaking fraud. Let me get into the real core issue here today. He murdered an innocent white child many years ago. Now, I apologize. Many of you don't know the backstory here, and I'm so sick of dealing with this bull crap from low IQ swarthoids. But he murdered an innocent white child. And the stench and the pain and the scars of that have never gone away. And so in Deacon's demented mind, the cognitive dissonance suggests that, it's everyone else's fault except for him. And so he goes on with a racial blame game upon white people, and now he's effing with me to hide from that pain of murdering that innocent white child, you black bigot. Yeah, I'm not shocked that you say these dirty things about me now. You've always said them. You called me a kook because you fake holy man, you fake black Hebrew disagree with me politically and economically and in terms of race. And so you called me out of my name. And when I folded and said, okay, Mr. Deacon, I speak good, okay. Then you said I was cool. You are a fraud. You are a ignorant, low IQ black bigot. And I don't give a damn to socialize with you any further. I don't know you from a can of paint, sir, but you crawled on your hands and your knees to me, begging me to help you when RG was harassing you and your family. And I don't know you from a can of paint, but I took time out of my busy day, the countless calls coming in to help you. I didn't ask for any proof that you are a religious man. I didn't ask anything of you. But you do this to me, you disloyal piece of crap. That's what you are. And the truth of the matter is, sir, okay, you've only exposed yourself as a fraud. You go from black space to black space. You 70-year-old fraud and phony and faker, warming up to black people with this fake pro-black bullcrap-ism. As you look for people to blame to hide from your cognitive dissonance from the day you murdered that innocent white boy. Tell the truth. You've never got over it, and you never will. It's between you and God, and I'll be damned I ever do your bidding again. You MFer. You'll die, and your body will go cold before I ever, sir, use my daughter to prove anything to you. I said, first and foremost, when I first came to this platform, helping swarthoids, I would never risk my daughter's life for this ish and her identity. And I'm not about to risk mine. And as far as Jimmy, who's talking sweet now and all this, you coming over here, you got me tangled up. Buddy, let's be all the way freaking clear here. I didn't know who you were a year ago. Okay? When I came to one of your streams, I heard you talking about, y'all Get her over here, man. Get her over here, man. And people told me on RBR that you were conspiring to get me over there for my damn money. And sir, you used to come to my live streams back in the day before my channels were terminated. Yeah, forgot all about that, huh? I had never once invited you. And initially, remember that stream of mine you were playing, huh? You midget bastard. Let's be freaking clear here. You were saying you're going to get me over there, and I said in my stream, as I recall, I would never touch you with a 10-foot pole. See, it's amazing how you forget all of that, and your lousy ass followers forget all of that. But sir, I never did one thing to you at all, but help you economically with money. And I sent you $2,000. You never left that room in Katy, Texas. So instead of being mad and standing on that ish, you're over there deflecting for views and clicks, stalking women all across the internet. Shame on you, you bastard. You midget looking bastard. I would never touch you or kiss you if my life depended on it. You betrayed me, you bastard. And you never left that freaking room. Instead of being mad and say, well, I ain't gonna lie on her. I did promise her to come see her when she sent my broke ass $2,000. And for you, Mr. AP, I know it still hurts that you married an ugly swarthoid. But even you accepted money from me, and I want to turn around and act slick. Listen, baby, if the allegations were indeed true, what does that mean for you? Or make you look like that you accepted money from the person you're kikiing ha-haing about. Shame on you low IQ having bastards. That's why when it comes to coming to the table in a tangible manner, Negroes and swarthoids can't. Your IQs are too low, and reason will never resonate with you. That's why I don't F with your kind. And I don't give a damn what you say about me or think about me, because Deacon, you're going to die before you get any more satisfaction out of me. And you midget. No, listen. No, it's not worth insulting you because, oh, you get a high out of it, you bastard. This is how you freaking operate across the internet. Doing dirt for clicks and views. Well, let me tell you something, though, in no uncertain terms, okay? No woman will ever, let me reiterate, no woman, I didn't say whore, no woman will ever accept your hand in bloody marriage. You are a loser. You can't hold a job. You're living off your mother. You got nothing, no car. See, buddy, I push big body sports cars down the road. Fuck with me and find out. You know I'm paid, unlike you and Cyber Supreme telling god-darn lies. I don't gotta lie to kick it. I never lied with you. I was always on the level. You're stalking my fucking cousin, and it's fine. You're harassing my family. Cool. See, I can't depend on dirty fake-ass Deacon to help me in the same way I once helped him. That's the truth. You're a lying scumbag, you bastard. And you know what? It's F all of you. Every last one of you. And you know something else? I saw how you unsubbed. Fuck you. I don't care. To me, I gotta come to your stream to prove something. Sir, gentlemen, when did you become my superior? Okay. And who appointed you, the Supreme Court, over me to subpoena me to any goddamn thing? No, fuck you. That's what it is. I made it. You didn't. You're stagnant. You're ignorant. Now go fuck off someplace and stalk other people and harass them and other content creators trying to destroy their livelihood. You know what? You and all them white folks deserve each other. Fuck you. Fake ass Deegan married to a woman that he don't like, that he despises. Run all across the internet flirting with other women. They want to blame them when shit hits the fan. Bringing their children into it. So that's the truth, okay? I never once wanted you, Jimmy. James Craig. And I told you, initially, first and foremost, I didn't want you. I said I would never pay you a red cent, but I did. Unfortunately, shame upon me, I know, but hell with you. You live by the sword, Hunty, you die by the sword, okay? As if all of you, I don't fuck with any of you anymore. Not a Q butter, none of you. All these low lives on so-called black YouTube. I'm done wasting my money on you. Oh, you're just trying to buy a thing. The same people who've never done anything tangible for me have so much to say, you freaking cowards. Not a one of you will live forever. You know what that means? Doing tangible things that outlast the physical realm. The fact that I fed you, James Craig, AP, and Deacon, I clothed you. You can never fuck with that. I don't care what you have to say. You lousy black bastards. Anyway, enough of this low-life crap. Let's get to the dissertation tonight, folks. I just wanted to clear the air because they say, and please hold on. Give us just a moment. We're going to switch gears here, folks. The Voice of America don't fuck around. Let me switch gears. We're live. Have to do it. Lies travel halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put its goddamn pants on. God forgive me. But it takes a lot of time, folks, okay, to tell a lie. It took these bastards 2+ hours in their live streams to weave those damn lies. And my stream was only 40-something minutes. See, baby, the truth don't take long to expose the lies. Truth is simple. I didn't have to do 2 hours to address every point you made that was a lie and a myth about me for 6 freaking years. And how dare you, Jimmy? How dare you, Deacon, you pervert, tell me that I address anything? You didn't watch the stream, asshole. That's how you could say these things. You didn't watch the stream. You missed the camera, fool. The words were coming out of my mouth when I said no, 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 and my head was shaking no. This is why I don't play your fool's game. All you're going to do is say it's AI, some excuse, instead of accept the reality before your eyes. Listen, you fake zealot, you fake deacon, you fake Hebrew, you're racist and a murderer. The reality is, sir, if you saw God walking on water today, you wouldn't believe it. I hope you burn in hell before I prove another god-darn thing to you. Heart disease bastard. God forgive me. They know not what they do. Let us switch gears, you guys, to get into the dissertation tonight, the keynote, how to make a boogeyman, exposing the deep state's forever war playbook. We're not here to mess around, but first we want to give our condolences to a few good men The American / Brit, Ozzy Osbourne. He was a true legend in his craft. He paved the way for so many more rockers to come. And there's the honorable mention, Hulk Hogan. Oh, it shocked me when I heard about his passing. But then again, I wasn't so shocked because of all his steroid use. But may he rest in peace. Another true legend. Many would love to hear my opinions, on the Epstein files. And I don't got much to say on it, honestly, other than I believe they're covering for the Zionist. And you know something? It really hurts my heart, truly, after all that I gave to the Trump administration, that people are saying that he's in the Epstein files. We've seen no proof of this other than a video, I'm guessing some associate of Epstein made, or maybe it was Epstein himself, where he said he pled the fifth after mentioning Trump's name. And usually when you plead the fifth, suggests you don't want to self-incriminate, meaning Trump, could have did something. So it really messes with my heart to hear this, but I don't believe it. But I can see the MACA movement unraveling in so many ways, as I predicted. Over the war, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and abroad. And so many voices now with bigger megaphones are now echoing these truths that I was the first to share with you all. And this really hurts my heart. Not for Donald Trump, for America. This nation, you guys, is already lost. Overcrowded in most states and cities. And it's all because of Democrat policies. But anyway, I believe they're covering for the Zionists. All the fake rabbis and other Zionists on the list. Keep in mind, you guys, that Trump excommunicated Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. Anyway, let us move on here. We've got a few things to get into, and then we're going to wrap up. The truth doesn't take very long to come out. And we've just told the truth while these idiots are sitting up over there laughing, kiki and ha-ha for sensationalism, clicks, and views. How dare you? Tonight we're here to get into how the corporation called America for many years has made boogeymen of the poor, the starving, the hungry, the people from third world nations, the forgot about, the weak, the impoverished, living below the poverty line. See, it's easy to use the weak, the impressionable, the poor, and make boogeymen of them. The unknown ones. See, my channel is so small that these idiots can tell lies on me and you'll believe it. They'll fill the void when nonsense and the world believes it. Well, let's get into it. We got to share some things here, and then let me go and look here. Let's see, I'm going to share this with you all too. There's a such thing as a spiritual day, and then there's a physical day. The day in which we all live right now. But that's not what's important. It's that everlasting spiritual day that is important. And where do you find yourself in that day with God? Are you right with God? Have you repented for your sins, Deacon, you murderer? It's F you. I don't want nothing from you or James Carrington Craig. Whatever his filthy name is, the bastard, ugly bastard anyway. Could you imagine ladies having a chow with some idiot that looked like Webster? Hell no. He's acting like, oh, you can't come over here until you do something. Buddy, go kill yourself. I don't want to come over there. I can barely do my own live streams, James. Makes you think I got time for your foolishness. And you know, so I'm just going to flag you every time I hear that bull coming out of your mouth. Hi. Let's stay on point here. We don't want to be long here. These idiots. The truth doesn't live in you, sir. I'm sorry. Who is the man behind the curtain who calls all the shots and making boogeymen of the poor and impoverished? The CIA. And boy, I'm lost on my community notes here. It's been so long before I could do this stream. It's the CIA, folks. For many years, there have been U.S. backed coup attempts in Latin America, North America, and internationally across the world. Chile, Peru, Panama, and other places, such as Brazil, and in the most hotspot known to man, the Middle East. Well, let's talk about something. Coups are justified when there is high unemployment, when the people are living below the poverty line. We've heard a lot about Yemen. And keep Yemen in your minds, folks, because we're going there tonight. What is true about the people living and residing in Yemen? They all live below the poverty line. We're talking 88+% poverty. What is true of the folks living in Afghanistan? They live below the poverty line. The people in Afghanistan to the people in Iran, once known as Persia, live below the poverty line. They all have something in common. They're poor. So we hear a lot of talk that these nations have nuclear programs. They are shooting missiles into Zionist Israel. Well, first, baby, you can't be poor to have a nuclear enrichment program. Okay. How can you afford it? It's impossible. And they claim the countries with the most nukes. And they're on your screen. But what's interesting is the Middle Eastern countries don't have the most nukes. America and Israel dwarf them. The Middle East pales in comparison, folks. There's no way they have the most nukes. But you believe they do, and they're more of a threat because they're poor, unknown, and impoverished, living below the poverty line. And no one speaks for them, but propaganda heard the world around. You can verify it by the clip on your screen. Don't take my word for it. See, I've never been a party line tour who believes the lies I'm fed. Okay, to stay in good graces with my party. So let's talk about it. The CIA has been involved in numerous covert operations aimed at influencing or overthrowing foreign governments, particularly during the Cold so-called war era. These operations often involve in regime change, as they all do, including Zionist Israel's works, the dirty works in Gaza, all the way to Damascus, folks. Regime change. Yeah. Have had significant consequences, including economic and political instability in the affected countries. You ever wonder why there's so many immigrants in America? These dirty effing forever wars. Oh, that's how we got so many darn Vietnamese in this country, Koreans in this country. And we're not going to be long. We're going to shift gears now. Let's talk about the imperial coup attempts by the CIA. As World War II ended, the United States stood as the dominant power on the world stage. In 1947, to support its new global status, it created the CIA to analyze foreign intelligence, they said. But within a few years, the agency was engaged in other underlying operations, bolstering pro American governments, overthrowing nationalist leaders, and surveilling anti imperial descendants at home. The Cold War was a hoax. An obvious reason for this transformation, but not the only one. And the CIA's celebrated intelligence historian Hugh Wilford draws on decades of research, as Alex Jones also has done, and other brave Americans. No need to take our word for it, folks. It's simply the truth. Let's shift gears, shift gears. We're moving fast here, people. We've got so much to cover, so much ground. In addition to the CIA today, folks, we've got the Zionist lobbyists who control America, who operate as the puppet masters, the overseers, the overlords of American policy, American domestic policy, and American foreign policy. Most of the wars we were drug into, patriots, were thanks in part to the Zionist lobbyists who control and own our American politicians, no matter how tough they talk. Because, gee, no one wants to be anti Semitic. So, no one, and I do mean no one, will hold them accountable out of fear of being called anti Semitic. The Susie Wells of the world and the current Trump administration, Elon Musk, Elise Stefanik, Marco Rubio, Lee Zeldin, Michael Waltz, Kristi Noem, Mike Huckabee, John Ratcliffe, Pete Hegseth, John Thune, and I hate to say it because it breaks my heart, Donald John Trump, a Zionist lobbyist. They'll do anything for Israel before they support home and take care of all of you. And it's sad. We're witnessing betrayal after betrayal by our dear MACA movement. These people are driving MACA into the ground. As I've told you all, they would do. They would be likened to the neocons who destroyed the conservative GOP some I don't know, 10 years ago, a decade ago, under George W. Bush. And it's happening, folks. I was the first to tell about it. And now others have, from Tucker Carlson to Candace Owens. Well, let's talk about it. The Zionists had their hands in Afghanistan for many a years, and our troops, our sons and daughters, went there to die in shallow, cold graves, their blood staining the ground. In 1953, the CIA, in collaboration with the British tentacles of the Synagogue of Satan, intelligence agency MI6 orchestrated a coup in Iran that overthrew the poor and impoverished the democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh. This operation, known as Operation Ajax, was driven by Western fears, so they say, to justify the implausible deniability, that part, of Soviet influence and aimed to restore power to the Shah. Let's be clear here, folks. Remember that so-called Russia hoax? Yeah, that one. No different than the fears during the Cold War about the Soviets that never manifested. Thank you, Obama, for your lies, goddamn. Mohammad Reza, who was seen as more aligned with Western interest, the coup involved propaganda, bribery, and even violence to destabilize Mossadegh's government. Can't pronounce it, sorry. And paved the way for the Shah's return. Why is it every time the Zionists do regime change, okay, the incoming regime is worse than what the nation had before? My God, people. From ISIS to Hezbollah, Hamas, Al Qaeda, and the Taliban is always worse than before. There's always a play upon the poor and impoverished, the ones you know nothing about, the ones you could care less to get a passport to their land and see what they're truly all about. The propaganda amassed by the Zionists speaks for them, slanders their names, and defames them, and creates upon their ashes the dead babies, women, and children, and civilian population terrorists to justify their bloody forever wars. Let me check my community notes here. So we're almost done here. Let's pivot into Iran once here. Because no matter what the scene appears to be, folks, how many guns they wave around, how bloody, how explosive even, is all the same. Because swarthoids live below the poverty line, are ignorant, and have low IQs. It's easy to use them in the CIA's and George Soros' schemes to create a boogeyman of them, to make them look bad in BLM riots. To mind you, the Democrats provoked and incited. It's always the same play. Ignore the flames, ignore the AK-47s. It's always the same. And they tell you the Houthis sunk so many battleships in the Red Sea and whatnot. My question is, how can they afford to do such things? Where did they get the arms and the missiles to attack the Zionists? Probably from the West. So Iran's net worth, or its gross national income (GNI), was 421,000.28 billion in 2023. This is an increase of 14.61% compared to 2022. In 2022, Iran's GNI was $367.58 billion. Iran's GDP, gross domestic product, was 404.63 billion in 2023, a 2.6% increase from 2022. Now we've got a slide to get into. Yemen's net worth in terms of its GDP is estimated at $23.5 billion. Whoa, that's a lot less than Iran's. However, due to ongoing conflict by the Zionists and other provocateurs and economic instability, much of Yemen's wealth is tied to natural resources and is not easily accessible. The country's GDP per capita is quite low, estimated at 616 US dollars. We're going to find out why this is so important in a minute. And that minute has come now. A nuclear program is incredibly expensive, involving substantial costs for development, maintenance, and modernization of both weapons and delivery systems. The 9 nuclear-armed nations collectively spent over $100 billion in 2024, with the U.S. alone spending over $56 billion. According to a report, these costs include maintaining existing arsenals, developing new warheads, and upgrading delivery systems. Why is this important? Because how can a nation living below the poverty line afford to enrich nukes? Okay, afford to purchase nukes, even on the black market, while their people starve. A nuclear program costs $100 billion almost a goddamn day. How can they afford, in these poor nations, to have a nuclear program, as we're told that they do? To enrich nukes costs another $1 trillion on top of the billions already spent just to own and operate a nuclear program. We believe these lies because we know nothing about the people the lies are spawned against. We believe such lies because the people seem deserving, dirty and filthy, and they are poor indeed. You would never believe it, a man or woman wearing a clean suit, living in Israel or living in America. And we don't think to fact check. We just root for the home team. And so, folks, this is how they've made boogeymen of the poor and impoverished, the sick and dying. And then they spin it all into the inside job called October 7th. And how are they going to justify Damascus, the preemptive, dirty, bloody attacks the Zionists waged against Damascus? They had nothing to do with October 7th. Neither did Gaza. And the poor people living below the poverty line, they had nothing to do with it. We watched the gears shift from Hamas to Hezbollah to the people of Gaza and Palestine And Israel orchestrated it all. I mean, they say Iran orchestrated it, but Israel actually did, though. And now we're blaming Iran. And somehow recently we wound up in Damascus believing these lies. Trying to sugarcoat them all, talking about, we're here for the Druids. Please don't make me laugh. That's how they've always done it, folks. But when you follow the money, none of this makes sense anymore. It's all lies, woven by the rich and wealthy, the powerful, the influential, people who control this nation and the world. The Zionist lobbyists, to the BlackRock corporations, the Bilderbergs, the New World Order, the globalists, all the way to the World Economic Forum and back again to the United Nations and NATO. I say they've always created a boogeyman. Not you believing in terrorism, but what you're really experiencing is a war of terror playing out, shown to you, trying to force your belief that these poor people, all of them, are terrorists. And it's not so. There's no bloody way an entire nation and every nation in the so-called Middle East, which is actually Northeast Africa, there's no way they're all terrorists. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our broadcast. Thank you to all who came out this evening. We appreciate it. We are not here, though, to play with these idiots any longer. I could care less what they think about me. Ladies and gentlemen, somehow I'm not able to find. Wait, let me do this. Not able to find my. Hold on. God, I can't find how to scroll back up now. Oh, wow. This is great. Oh, wow. How do I go back up? I gotta get to the. Oh, wow. This is not good. Darn it. In here. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Great. You guys, we're back. We got to tech support it. All right. Salute to the GG Island. Great Patriot. Abilify. Salute. Salute to Fifth Sage. Salute to who this is. Booums. To the blue. What is this? Blue Rob guy. And salute to EY live on air. Wow. Barry the prostitute. What is that positive turtle? I was about to say prostitute. And that's about it. Salute to TNBN. Long time no see, brother. Salute to Frank White. And Sammy C, whoever that is. And Rob, salute. Some of you all's comments are hidden, okay, because you're talking ish. And Dust Dog, salute. And so to my enemies, and Don Pablo, and salute to Mookie if you're here. So we don't care. We just multiply, you dig? And so I just love telling the truth, y'all. It is a ish. These guys are such freaking liars. You know, but anyway, salute to you all. Thank you for tuning in. God bless America. We are not a cult, okay? We are true human beings, red-blooded Americans, and God, first and foremost, fearing Americans who believe in God, country, family, and guns in that order. And yes, Democrats, we agree. No kings in America. We're out of here, y'all. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Cannot resist it. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the resources to understand that something's been put over on you. You cannot but help believe the definition of it as a free agent. But you believe yourself to be a free agent as a result of not being free. That is to say, of being hopelessly unable to resist
The real owners, big wealthy business, gold, all important systems. But then the idea that you have no choice. You have owners. They own everything. They own everything. They own all the world. They own lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves. I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. Right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around and
if you were listening, I say again to this transmission, you were the resistance. Good night.